So I am going to try my best to record this. Um, it's like going on 2 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. So I decided to record something for Kevin Samuels. And I'm going to try to do it without any tears. For anyone that has known my history on YouTube, you know me from the Lapeef Network. But what you probably don't know is I got introduced to the Lapeef Network through Kevin Samuels. I was watching his content, and of course, they give you recommendations and a channel that has grown hugely since I first came on. Um, I saw it in my notification and I watched it and I fell in love. And I was like, hey, they saying some stuff that Kevin Samuels kind of talks about. Thank you guys for joining. I'm just decided to go live real quick because I couldn't sleep. And I just wanted to give my words a little bit about Kevin Samuels. We lost someone today that was very, very monumental, not only in this space, but in my life. I remember having conversations with my brother about relationships, and he told me, have you heard about this man, Average at Best? His name is Kevin Samuels, girl. You need to watch him. So I remember tuning in, and instead of watching a clip, I watched the entirety of this show, and I was absolutely amazed about how he's able just to convey truth. And I was absolutely amazed how men championed Kevin Samuels because, of course, they were saying he's finally saying stuff that we wanted to hear, and he's saying it in a way that y'all need to listen. And I believed them. So I started listening, and I started learning that a lot of my ideas was wrong. Absolutely wrong. What I thought men wanted, absolutely wrong. So I really just started watching Kevin Samuels, and I became one of those. I think Slick, I became red pill a little bit after watching him. And yes, women can get red pill sometimes. We get tired of our own shit. So watching him and then became a cast member of the Lapeef Let's Talk, say February, March. So it's been over a year. And my very first episode that I was on, he popped up. Now, mind you, I was already a fan. And when I was on the show, when he popped up, I texted my brother and I was like, man, Kevin Samuels on this joint, man. What's going on? And my brother was like, you lying? I said, no, Kevin Samuels is on the freaking panel with me. And I was so excited because, again, I'm a fan. And then I was like, man, I get to ask Kevin Samuels some questions. Good, because I don't know shit about men, apparently. And then he kept popping up and popping on. And the Lapeef Network started to have an amazing relationship with Kevin Samuels. He knew all of us, close to Anton and JR. Back then, the Tawana was on there, and so she was on a show. They were going back and forth. And I remember he messaged me and asked me to be on his show. And I was like, now, wait a minute, you're going to ask me my dress size? I still got some weight to lose now. But he just wanted to have a real conversation. And so I was blessed to be able to hop on his show and have amazing dialogue. From there, he became kind of my mentor um, in this space, teaching me how to carry myself as a woman in YouTube. Sometimes I didn't listen. And then after the fact I didn't listen, I knew that I should have. Um, he suggests books to me to read. This one right here on how to debate the principles of Aikido. I had no idea what in the world this book was, but it was about how to fight with martial arts and pretty much using your opponent's weakness to win. He told me about some other books. I didn't get them. Sorry, Kevin. Probably could have helped me out on some occasions that I've been on YouTube, but I promise you I'm going to get them. Man, through Kevin, I was able to make some amazing friends like O'Shea, like Obsidian, that I'm still close to this day. And oh, Rilla. Today is hard for me, and I didn't know I was going to take it hard like this. And I think a lot of people are taking it hard. I think when you have a man that has been through a lot, especially with these raggedy, bitter broads that have been attacking him since day one and apparently are still attacking him and saying the most disgusting things, but he was able to stay above it, not stoop low, not respond. And again, I'm still learning how to do that because that's something that's been rough for me, not to respond when you're facing folks that say the most disgusting things about you. But that is what I am still learning. And I have him to thank. I have him to thank for being transparent and for holding myself accountable. It's weird because in YouTube, people just think it's just YouTube and it's virtual, which is true, but you develop friendships and you develop family. And he definitely was family for the Lapeef Network. And he was a gift and a mentor to me. I can't believe he's gone. The space is going to be completely different now. I don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be a void. And I don't think this void would ever be filled. There would never be another Kevin Samuels. But I know for me and what I am responsible for is first reading the books that he didn't told me to read. I got to do that. Second, which he think he's getting out of, Kevin, you and your wings, when I get married, you told me you was going to give me a gift. And don't think because you just want to fly up there and be with our Heavenly Father that you're not going to run me my gifts. Okay. I don't know how you're going to do it, but God works miracles. So you need to start thinking right now how you're going to give me my china. No, you got money, Kevin. So you run me my core. He's a man of his promises. So I want my wedding gift, Kevin. um, it's going to be a big void. But I promise you that I'm still going to keep myself accountable, call out bad behavior when I see it, and hold myself to a standard. You help change this little country girl. So for that, I thank you. My very, very first show that I did by myself on the Lapeef Network, it was dedicated to him. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to give him his flowers. It was a year ago. And we talk about being able to appreciate people while they're here, to give them their flowers, to show them love. And I was able to do that for Kevin. He knew that he was loved. He knew that he was appreciated. And he knew that he affected my life. And he did. I'll show y'all my first show. Oh, this is hard, y'all. Y'all remember this? My very first show. Ooh, child. Y'all can tell I lost a little weight. I still got a couple pounds to go. Kevin, I'm going to lose that too, because what you're not going to do is look up there and make fun of me. Okay? That's not what you're going to do to me, Kevin. But let me play. So like I said before, I'm giving that man all his flowers. Let me see. Can y'all hear? No. Lord, no. Let me play it again. This was my very, very first show, y'all. Who knew? Lord, no, it hurts my heart. Every time I listen to a video, sometimes and he's talking about me, it gets a little tingy, and I'll be like, oh, Jesus. But it's all right. That's what I once was. So now I'm getting better. And I just pray that you guys get better with me. So to Kevin Samuels, thank you. I appreciate you. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I should. Y'all remember that? That was I know. Y'all think, I mean, I do like my chicken now, my biscuits. But again, another reason why I was like, I need to calm down on the fried chicken. And he had something to do with that. He was like, now you want a good marriage, you need to lose a couple pounds. So I think since then I lost maybe 20 or almost 30 pounds from then. I still got a little bit more to go. But I'm working at it. I ain't there yet, Kevin. But yeah, my very, very first show, it was called When Kevin Samuels Said You're Average at Best. He was talking to me. And I remember when I did that, sending him a message and saying, I dedicated my first video to you. And I remember him sending me a message back saying, that's really sweet. Now do the work. So his work is not done. He's going to work through us. And yeah, I'm going to read my books. I'm going to continue to grow. And you will be truly, truly missed. I'll come up if somebody wants to. I guess if you want to come up, I wasn't going to take anybody, but if somebody wants a link, I don't mind. If you have any memories or of Kevin Samuels, you definitely can. But that's the link. I'm going to read. Everyone is celebrating, mocking him, and making jokes. Yeah, I before I knew that it was official, I did see a lot of live streams monetizing off of this. I saw a lot of disgusting videos and women that are happy. And you know what's really messed up? I guess they think that because he's not physically here anymore, that his message is going to dissipate. Like we're not just going to keep saying the same thing. As a matter of fact, act like we're not going to go harder. Well, that's not going to happen. As long as I'm running my mouth, I'm going to represent. Can y'all come up? Y'all know what happened to Anton. We're not going to do that here. Where you at? I see you backstage. I can't see you. Need some light, baby. There you go. Hey, I add you.
Oh, man. Wasn't trying to be on cam, but it's cool.
Oh, well, you're all right. What you got for me?
What's going on, Courtney? Yeah, man.
It's a hard, rough day, to be honest.
Yeah. Man, since day one, I didn't miss a single show from KS, bro. And I was sitting there just waiting. I got 2 shows that I watch before he comes on, and I'm like, tonight's gonna be a good show, you know?
Yeah.
And then I get that notification. I'm thinking, this still doesn't feel real, you know?
It doesn't.
Lost a good man today. I mean, when I first came across his content, you know, I've been a part of the MRA space for a while, so I was like, it's good to hear somebody making content on these topics because I've been in so many arguments with family about the way things are and percentages and the facts of, you know, how things are, and it was like finally somebody was saying it to a large audience, you know, and it was dope, you know, and I think the number one thing that Kevin did for all of us is, you know, he gave us that tough love. You know, things that are good for us don't always sound nice, and that's the thing I think most people had a hard part accepting. But in the end, you know, it was mostly good for people. He put a lot of emphasis on communities and family, and that's the number one thing that I feel is missing in a lot of this ratchet culture is there's no family. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
So let me ask you a question, and I'm going to get to a couple more people. Like I said, I don't want to be on here long. It's a
yeah.
rough
Go ahead.
day. But what would you say was Kevin Samuel's biggest impact to you?
For me personally, or you mean like
No, for you personally. How did he impact you personally?
Uh, he got me back on my grind, you know, as far as my business was concerned, because I think when you get comfortable, you kind of get complacent. And I realized that I wasn't exactly where I need to be for my family and for myself. So I got back on it, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So it is on your grind making you better.
Financially, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
stressful, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, I don't have time to cry about it. I just need to make stuff happen. You know, no excuses.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get up on out of here, Courtney.
Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you.
Not a problem. Have a good one.
You too. Kevin C. Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, hey, Courtney, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Obviously, what's happened is starting to sink in. For a lot of people, and I know, first of all, rest in power to Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. Let's give him some love.
Yeah.
Um, I know he was a dear friend and colleague to you. I watched a
Mhm.
lot of you guys. I watched quite a bit when he would come up on with you and the crew, and the banter, the conversation. I
Mhm.
learned something every time we all did, right?
Right.
And um, and just in this time of what's going on, I would just encourage all of y'all, especially the ones who are really close to him. I think we all feel close to him in some ways,
Mhm.
just through his content and what he was able to do in his interviews. But the ones who were really close to him, just look out for yourself, take care of yourself, deal with it, and spend time with family and friends and process it and everything else. Because I know it's going to hit you guys a little bit harder than most people, but I think all of us are kind of hurting behind it. So I would kind of ask that for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, thank
And
you.
yeah, I'll say one thing that he did for me, and just for probably all of us,
Yeah.
real quick, is that so obviously nobody can be him and do what he's done, but he probably motivated me personally and probably a lot of guys in my age group and even some guys who are a little bit younger, but
Mhm.
to actually talk to people around us, talk to our family more, give them advice, not in the sense that, the Godfather would do it, but, just kind of bring people in and talk to them a little bit more and just give them advice, especially, me being married and in a great
Mhm.
relationship. So I would try to impart that and then take some of his talking points and just kind of and do that also, and with not so much with the women, but a little bit with them is if they wanted to talk or if they were interested. So he kind of influenced people to kind of branch out and actually started conversations, and we are really trying to improve the community. So and that's really all we can do in order to honor him and honor his work. And literally, I hope his videos and his work and all his stuff stays up, because I mean, literally, I know it didn't seem like it was a lot, but it's a lot of content and a lot of stuff that we can still take lessons from. So
Yeah.
that's his legacy. Us moving forward and doing more, and then doing what he asked us to do, which is improve the Black community.
Right. I totally agree. And the one thing that he always championed was the nuclear family.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was for Black love. And, a lot of women said the most oddest things about him as if he wasn't for us. But I think his tough love was because he knew that we could be better.
yeah,
And I agree. And I've said this before, with the women, a lot of women that has made the not so becoming videos, I wanted to make sure that me and I know other women um, made something for him to let him know that his words were never in vain.
yeah,
And like I said, a year ago, my very, very first video was about him. And so today I said, I'm going to do a video about him again.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But this is everything's a reminder to us. Just kind of live and do well and just be the best person, because and just touch people along the way and just do the best as you can in order to help others.
yeah,
And if we do that, then we'll all be better for it.
I
But,
agree.
but yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time, and obviously, much love to you, and continue doing what you're doing. We love you. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Kevin. I'll see you in the chat. Bye. Okay. Who else I got here? Hi, Raymond. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, um, just really wanted to call up some people. Maybe you can tell me something that Kevin Samuels maybe did that affected your life personally, something positive that he can hear from the heavens above.
Well, first, let me say thank you for allowing me to come onto the platform.
Hmm.
Um, Kevin Samuels he just made it, even though, of course, I never met him personally, but just watching hours of his content and just really listening to his message really impacted me. One of the first videos I watched from him was things that your father should have taught you. And,
One of his
and
best ones.
right, and
Yes.
so I mentioned that in one of my Facebook posts about how that video really changed my perspective about everything and how I was looking at myself. And even in this Joe Budden interview, when he talked about how men should strive to work at least 70 hours, which is why I work hard the way I do. And how he explains to men how we should split up both jobs and just really have a map, a plan, and a blueprint for life. And I'm gonna miss him dearly, but his content will live forever.
Yeah.
His research will live forever. Um, Even if you disagree with him, you just cannot deny the impact that he had on the culture. The shock and the impact is almost, and a lot of people disagree with me, but it's almost on the lines of Kobe. Um, you know,
Hmm.
he really, even though they had different methods, Kobe was a basketball player, um, and Mr. Samuels was a YouTube content creator, but they both had the same message, and that was about being our best,
Yeah.
no matter what we do, no matter what we're doing, no matter who we are, no matter where we come from. The message is still the same: being our best and being our best self. So, thank you so much for allowing me to come up, and my condolences to you,
Thank
um, and to all of the manosphere and for those who were impacted by it.
thank you. And I appreciate you coming up as well, sharing your stories. And yeah, the Kobe.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I might say the MJ now. I mean, the GOAT. I might have to call him the
right.
MJ of the space.
Right. Well, the impact is really just the impact of his death is along the lines of Kobe, especially amongst the men who listen to him, like
Yeah,
myself. It's still shocking. It's still hard to believe. So
it
it's
is.
going to take a long time. I mean, it's been 3 years for Kobe, so it's going to take us a long time to really process um, Mr. Samuel's passing. But his
Yeah.
content and his message will live on forever. So thank you again, and
Thank
condolences.
you.
Thank you.
See you. Bye. For Kobe. Just woke up to this news. So sad to hear. I don't agree with all his views, but still is sad. He's he was doing what he believed. Yeah. And he was doing what a lot of men believed. That's why I think I never understood, and I would say this till I am blue in the face. Like he gave women the blueprint. He was telling it all for us. If you want to know where you might be getting it wrong, what you need to work on, just turn on Kevin Samuels. And the man tells you. Was it Orissa? Ah, Orissa Michelle, beautiful name. How are you, lovely?
I'm fine. I was on Lapeef Network. It's been a while ago. A
I
couple.
remember you.
Hmm.
I sure do. Your name Orissa. I sure do remember
Hmm.
you. How you been? Long time.
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Working hard. I'm really trying to still process this thing here.
Yeah.
This man's passing, because number one, we were the same. We were about the same age. I know I'm 50. I think he was in his early 50s. Um, but what he has done for me, he has really, really helped me really realize that I'm older, so I try to tell these young women that if you don't prioritize marriage in your 20s and 30s, it is going to be hard for you. You cannot go pick a man off a tree.
Right.
And
you
these women think, "Oh, I'm still hot." No, baby, you're getting older. And I keep telling them they don't want to listen. But and they be like, "Mr. Sam, you don't know what he's talking about." Yes, he does. I'm there. And I'm not saying I don't date and all that stuff. I'm not in a relationship now, but trust me, the struggle is real. Um,
Yes.
and he's basically telling young women to stop having all these babies out of wedlock. If stop having all these babies out of wedlock if you want the result that you want, and to really focus on yourself, get fit, you know, um, and to be the best version of yourself. Now, for me, what he did for me is he got me buying a whole bunch of clothes so I can get out more to meet people and do other things, like normally I would just work and come home, but now I'm like shopping and buying clothes, going out to dinner all the time, meeting people, being more sociable. And
So have you been more sociable? Have you been going out? Have you been meeting people?
I have just to do more, you know. And he's really my sons listen to him. So I have 4 sons. I have actually 2 daughter-in-laws and one is engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So and they listen to him too, and they really couldn't. They were shocked today as well. And they was like, even a male friend of mine, he was like, he called me probably about 2 hours ago from New York. He was like, if this is true, he said, I know Orissa must know. I said, yes, it is true. I said, I'm still trying to process this thing here. And I am. And it's very sad that he passed away. My heart goes out to his daughter, goes out
Yes.
to his mother. Um,
Mm-hmm.
to the people that didn't agree with this content, 9 times out of 10 didn't go back and listen to a lot of his stuff.
Right.
Because there are some things, of course, look, people didn't believe everything in the Bible. So, even with his content, I can say I agree with more than not. So
Right.
I'm wishing him a peaceful transition, and that his work here is not done. We will continue to fight. I will continue to fight for him. I will continue to speak well on this man. I would not, there's some people that speak negative. I mean, I heard comments, but I'm like, look, no. And I'm gonna speak
Yeah.
positive on people. And that's something that we have to do. But I will say one more thing. Last week when he did a video last week, and I said to myself, I said, Kevin Samuels is tired. It was something
Mm.
that I said, he is tired. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know this type of tired, but I said,
Mm-hmm.
that man is tired. I said, this man
Mm-hmm.
is working his butt off. And to hear this news, I said, okay, God was preparing him. His work is done. His work is done here. It was sudden, but his work is done here.
What
Part
an impact. What an
Mhm.
impact.
Yes, he got one heck of an impact. He got people talking. He got it's just amazing.
I and I Arissa, I'm glad that you called in, and I think I have another woman on here too. Okay. Look at I see you. Um and everybody, I am looking at the chat. I don't know if I have mods because it's super late, so I'm monitoring that, and also the people that come up. Like my block hand is real strong
Mhm.
because this is going to be respectful. This was somebody that was my mentor,
Mhm.
who I used to battle women all the time. There was a petition to try to cancel him off the internet maybe 3-4 months ago, maybe a little bit longer.
Wow.
And I checked the broad that did it. What you're not going to do is cancel someone that's telling the truth, that's actually affecting, because your feelings are hurt.
Absolutely.
Tell me what he said was wrong.
Mhm.
Just because he didn't say it the way that you wanted him to say it doesn't mean that what he said is absolutely wrong. And
Yeah.
so, I've had my battles with women. All you do is listen to Kevin Sam, da 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 da.
Mhm.
Well, prove me wrong, and they never could.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I told a girlfriend, I said, you know what? I said, watching his videos, this is before all this happened, because, she didn't watch them, but I did. I said, I learned to hurt my own feelings. Once I looked in the mirror and
Mm-hmm.
hurt my own feelings, it was easier for me to accept accountability for things that I did in my past. I
Yeah.
said, but I had to really, because I'm getting older, I had to look in the mirror and look at myself and say, okay, this is what I did then. How can I improve? And I call this the last half of life. That's just the reality of it. He used to say it all the time. We have less days and less sunrises ahead of us. And
Right.
at
That's true.
50, we can go at any day. I could go at any day, period.
Mm-hmm.
So make it worthy. Make your life count. This man made his life count. It's just amazing what he did. And since I've been listening to him the past 2 years, it's amazing. And like I said, I'm still heartbroken. I almost couldn't sleep because I'm like, no, I was still waiting on him to do a live. I had a baby,
Today.
and she said, it's 9 o'clock, no Kevin Samuels. And I told her, and she was like, they were like, confirm, they didn't believe it. And I
Yeah.
had to confirm this for them. 10 o'clock came, I had to confirm it. And
No
they were
Kevin
like,
Samuels.
oh my gosh. It was like, oh my gosh, it's true. I said, yeah, no, it's true. Trust me. I didn't believe it early either. I thought Twitter, I said, Twitter, they always trying to kill people off. I was like, whatever. But
Yes, they do.
mhm. And they kind of wanted, yeah. And I was like,
I,
whatever. It's just
yeah.
sad.
Well,
Sad.
Orissa, I really appreciate you. And again, I'm
Thank
happy
you.
that you called up because we do need to show the Black women that he affected and the Black women
Mhm,
that listened to him and that appreciated him.
mhm,
In the midst of all these lives of disgusting women having saying the most despicable stuff,
mhm.
I definitely wanted to be one of the women that stepped up and be like, no, you didn't
Yeah,
know him. And if you
absolutely.
really listened to him, you would have got your shit together.
That's right. I thank you so
So
much for letting me on your channel
yeah.
listening to you. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's good to see you. As I said, it's been a minute, so I appreciate you.
Yes. All right. I'll be back down in the chat. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me comment on something that I saw. And I saw some despicable women say this too on a live. That he died alone because he wasn't married. Let's y'all are dumb. Just absolutely incredibly dumb. We all die alone. Once God takes, we gone alone. The purpose is not to go through life alone. That's what he was trying to tell us. You don't want to go through this life alone. Women, get with a man so you don't have to bear all the burdens on you. How in the hell can you how can you disagree? The man was telling us that we need men, and we do. We all gonna die alone. You gonna meet your maker, whomever it is, alone. But the thing is, we don't have to go through life while we're here by ourselves because that's not what God intended. That's not what our bodies are made for. Your emotional health, your spiritual health, your mental health is not for you to be alone. We all need someone. And even though he was married, Kevin wasn't alone. And that's for sure. He was and has been and will forever be surrounded by love. So let me get that together. He died alone. Man, because your ass is going to die alone too. But are you going to have somebody to wake up to? And with your attitude, I'm assuming, hell no. uh, Keeping up
Hi.
with Queen Tulsa. How are you?
You know what? I am well. I actually lit him a candle and it just went out. I had a white tea light candle going for him. And shout out to Kevin Samuels and what he stood for, and like you said, the information that he passed out to the community. I mean, nobody wants to die alone, but it actually does happen. Um I'm thankful for his contribution to us. I remember going on his show, but I think I was like backstage or something. But he was very nice. He wasn't rude to me. He didn't give me like the stink attitude or anything. My experience was the little bit of time that I did get to visit with him, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So you was on a show?
Well, how you have like you can call in and then
Mm-hmm.
you're backstage until he like put you on that main camera. He was talking to me backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just the engagement, he was like, what are you looking for? Well, I wasn't looking for nothing. I just want to come up and give you your props. and he acknowledged it. He said thank you,
Yeah.
and it
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you sharing your story with us.
yeah, and you stay encouraged, and we just have to remember the positive memories that we've had with him, and continue to share that message with other sisters and brothers. We have to educate, and sometimes it take somebody to be sacrificed. You know, he sacrificed his life. Is you know, he may have been in. Look at the guy that played in Black Panther. You know, he was going through some things and he was still strong for us. So we have to continue that legacy.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hmm. I appreciate you guys for coming up, and I'm going to go ahead and add it.
What's up, Courtney? How you doing?
Oh Lord.
I'm cool. Yeah, I did a 7-hour live stream. I had to put it on private for members
Oh
only
Lord,
because
yeah.
it was
This right.
controversial.
I think this is the spirit. Kevin, he said, "Let me break up chaotic for you." Oh,
I salute to you. Happy Friday, and salute to
I
the
know. Late
yeah.
night, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, you know, it's been a big day, and salute to the chat. Positivity is definitely coming your way. I just got done doing a live stream, and people are wondering why I still have on a button up randomly at 3 a.m. Kevin Samuels was a prophet. Kevin Samuels, and this may cause some controversy, but I
Well,
believe Kevin Samuels was on the scale of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and so many great black men, Thomas Sankara, Jerry Rollins, etc. He had a voice, and that voice was so impactful that he had an entire country of specifically African Americans listening to him on relationship advice.
mm-hmm.
Without the usage of ABC, NBC, and the networks, the man built a platform that was pretty much larger than Montel Williams and other daily talk show hosts of the 90s, early 2000s, except for Oprah, respectfully. The man
But
is
for
going to be,
men, yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah, right. The man is going to be dearly missed. It's going to be dearly damned missed. And love him or hate him, if you are a woman, you have to admit his conservative talking points will forever be lamented in internet history.
Mm-hmm.
And Courtney, I don't want to take over the panel because you know I have a habit of doing that. But what say you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
What say you? Go ahead. Get the floor.
Um.
Any
Well,
questions for me? Yeah.
when I got introduced to you, I've seen you
Yeah.
everywhere for a
Yeah,
while.
absolutely.
And I always knew that you was heavily influenced by Kevin Samuels.
I was not. I had these talking points when I was a little kid.
You
No, believe
okay?
it or not. Yeah, yeah. Believe it or
You
not.
can admit being you can. I'm
No,
influenced by him too.
I'm not influenced by him. I grew up with a father. I don't need to be influenced by any other person but my
You
father.
can grow up with a father chaotic, but don't hello, look your position right now.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
with your
ahead.
button up, how
Yeah.
you sitting there?
Well, you got to remember too, Courtney. I also am a member of the greatest fraternity on the planet, which
I
is Alpha
know.
Phi Alpha, and you already know how alphas are. Alphas are presentable, and I always want to be presentable when especially on screen. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about this is how black men should or men in general should look. Period. But I will admit, I
Mm-hmm.
did watch Kevin Samuel's earlier videos when he talked about perfumes. I mean, not perfumes. Oh, I know it's gonna again snip it out. Colognes,
Cologne, yeah,
right?
cologne.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can say that, but when I first met you,
Absolutely. Go ahead.
or I knew that you was 06, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was like, well, I can tell, which is fine. But however, I will say this. I think that what he was able to do was make it okay a lot in this space, a lot of Black folks to be conservative, to care about your image.
Yeah.
He was heavy. The impact I think that he made to be okay with being traditional
Yeah.
and wanting Black women to uphold to that standard, the standard that I know that you uphold to as well. So, yeah, he
Yeah.
will be truly missed. Let me ask you, what
Go
do
ahead.
you think, um, from you being on YouTube, what has been the most impactful thing for you that you think that you have taken from maybe watching Kevin Samuels, seeing him on other podcasts, maybe even seeing him on Lapeef? What was something that you took from it that impacted you?
Image.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a image thing that I could say that I could look at Kevin Samuels and say that this man cared about his image to the point of absolute dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere he went, he was consistent. From his
Mm-hmm.
attire, his haircuts, well, I mean, grooming, of course,
Right.
his talking points. I never, I never really saw him out of character. Nobody seemed to ever get him out of character. And sometimes being content creators, we can get out of character sometimes, but I never really seen it. His level of stoicism was,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, second to none. And I think that's what it was about.
Mm.
He always wanted to present himself with an image,
Right.
a staple. Yeah. And I think that's what was key about who he was and his brand. And that's the reason why I believe he obtained so many subscribers in such a short period of time. Yeah.
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 I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was somebody in the chat that I wanted to say something to. It's one. One, we are a non-hazing organization. Uh,
What?
don't worry about it, Courtney. Don't worry
Are you talking
about
about somebody said the boule?
it was something that they said. I don't want to repeat it. It wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, you
We're a
must be getting checked.
yeah non-hazing organization. But yeah, so Kevin Samuels.
I know what you're doing.
It was kind of difficult tonight to do my live stream. I had a set topic, and I think the overwhelming sense of the YouTube community receiving this news, offset the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are still doing live streams about Kevin Samuels. But absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the Peef Let's Talk was tonight, and then afterwards
I
I really
wasn't invited to, by the way. Just want to point that out.
you need to talk to JR about that. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'll hit him up.
I'm gonna be like Snoop Dogg at the Source Awards in the '90s. Y'all ain't got no love for chaotic.
You ain't got no love for Death Row.
You ain't got no love for me. Yeah, I'm gonna be like that with JR.
No.
Go ahead.
That's funny because I usually always say the South got something to say.
Yeah,
I'll be on my Outcast.
Yeah. JR,
Yes.
anybody got no love? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, I appreciate you, and I hope to see you again.
Absolutely. So that sounds like it's kicking
you're
me
fun,
off.
but
Absolutely.
yeah, I said it's going to be a void as creators that we're in this space together that he highly affected. It's going to be different now. Weird almost.
Courtney, I will admit this, and you are correct. But I will admit this. I did say this over and over again to my wife, and to other people to my friends,
Mm-hmm.
I had envisioned that Kevin Samuels actually, and I'm not making this up, I really did say this. I thought that Kevin Samuels would have eventually left YouTube for bigger contractual deals, such as Joe Rogan, like the path of a Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
like some major deal, like $50-100 million deal. And that's what I was always trying to put into the universe about Kevin Samuels. Now that's something I could say, you know what, he is bigger than YouTube, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what I mean is in terms of on a scale of what an Oprah or somebody on that level is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Joe
Yeah.
Rogan became too big for YouTube. I was watching Joe Rogan. I don't want to make this about Joe Rogan, but I was watching Joe Rogan, 15 years ago. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
eventually, he was building up his podcasting platform. And I said, wait a minute, YouTube might not, I think it's something's going to be even bigger than this. And look what happened a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This space was definitely he transcended a lot in this space.
Exactly.
I just don't think that we're the media, the main media, mainstream. I don't think they knew where to put him quite yet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, so I think he was getting there, but I don't think that it was like, okay, where are we going to put him? He has such a voice, but his voice is, I don't know if they're ready for the voice, but maybe they are because it's so many people that are agreeing with him and connecting with him.
Yeah.
I don't think they was able to find somewhere to put him because he was an original.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a first in many aspects, as far as talking points, how he looked, how he carried himself.
Yeah.
And I think the world wasn't ready for him.
I don't think so either, especially, and thank you, Courtney, for allowing me to talk, especially considering the fact that we live in a very social media environment. The environment is hypersexualized.
Mm-hmm.
You got a high level of hypergamy. I think Kevin Samuels would have been, some people always say we're born in different eras, right? So me, I was born in 1984, but for some reason I like Cameo, I like Sade, I like Anita Baker, and I'm like, maybe I was born in the wrong decade.
Yeah.
So I think Kevin Samuels, who he was, would have worked exceptionally well. And I'm talking about with open reception, 70s and the 80s, where men generally were, women would have listened to him like, okay, I want to be a better housewife, or I want to be a better wife, or whatever. But see, now women today are growing up listening to, Miss Independent songs and all of this. So listening to a Kevin Samuels, to a woman of this generation, oh, what he say? So that's why his reception was a little bit off-putting at first. But I can tell you this, we are going back to a more conservative country. I don't know if you can tell through legislation, but we're
the Roe versus Wade.
Roe versus Wade, a lot of the parental rights legislation that's being passed, is particularly in Florida and now in Ohio. So we're going back to more conservative values. And I believe that Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, because he was conservative, I think that in a few years, people are going to appreciate him, even his detractors, more. They're going to appreciate him more in a few years than what they're doing now. Because the man literally told women, this is what you should do for a husband. This is what you should do. And again, if you just look at, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, but if you just look at terms of biblical study, what he said was sort of biblical to a degree, and that's what I think this country has lost. And I think that's where the backlash came about. Courtney, I don't want to talk your head off. It is
Thank
3
you.
in the
I got
morning.
someone else I'm going to bring up, but
Yeah,
it is always a pleasure. You
absolutely.
always have a way to make me giggle.
Absolutely. You know, I like making people happy. I like stoking the fire a little bit with controversy,
We know you
but I'm a
do like
good guy.
poke.
Yeah. And JR, hey man, come on. You know, let me
The people be calling for you, chaotic. I can't even.
but I rock with you guys. I think you guys have a great platform. And I missed Houston. Was it Houston?
Yes.
Oh man, you guys look beautiful. Black excellence. You guys went to that. And I asked about the restaurant you guys ran, a black owned restaurant. I said, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Well, August, first weekend in August, we'll be in Atlanta.
I am coming. I love Atlanta.
So then I'll see you in a few months.
Sounds good. Hey, Courtney, have a good one.
You too. Thank you, chaotic. Okay, that guy. I needed to smile. Thank you, chaotic. Hi, Greed. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
You can hear me?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, well, Mr. Kevin Samuels, I need to tell everybody how he changed my life. At the end of the day, I met that man at the airport. I met him at the airport a long time ago. And he was standing next to me. I don't know why he decided to talk to me. He decided to talk. Right. He decided to talk to me. And it was weird because I knew who he was, but I don't know. He just I just couldn't pinpoint where I seen him before. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he was talking to me and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, you Kevin Samuels, right? He was like, yeah. I used to be a rapper. I know, I don't want to, throw names out there, but
okay.
I know some famous dudes that, in the rap game. So I was pretty much on the phone with them. And while I was on the phone with them, you know what I'm saying, I didn't know where my life was going to go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't working out for me with the music and all that stuff. So all of a sudden, this man just started talking to me while he was standing there waiting on his flight. And I'm standing there waiting on my flight. We just get to talking. And all of a sudden, I was just like, man, the podcast game, how like the being a content creator, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he said, man, you can do it. All you got to do is find a subject or whatever that you really, really believe in and go ahead and create an audience. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of a sudden I had told him, I said, man, look, I'm from the hood. I don't know if, a lot of people going to relate to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a proper speaking type of guy, right? This man getting ready for his flight, he said one thing to me. He said, every time I speak, he said, don't you hear me stutter? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? So he walks away, and that got me thinking. He is the reason why that my platform right now is getting bigger and bigger than what it is. We started Ghost Assassin podcast because of him. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give that man so much love. That man, he was amazing. He was an amazing dude. He said one thing to me and changed my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? And then I started watching other people that was connected to him, like Anton Daniels. I started watching you guys on Lapeef Let's Talk. I started investing my money in other different things. And then, everything just changed for me, you know what I'm saying? Because of Mr. Kevin Samuels, I'm going to miss that man. I couldn't really do the show today because, man, it just hurt me so bad that, we lost a good man like this, real talk. He just talked. He just made it okay again to be a man. You know what I'm saying? To talk, So, I'm always miss that man. I'm gonna forever support him. So I just want to say shout out to his family, shout out to his kid, his daughter, you know what I'm saying? All that, I just hope at the end of the day the family is okay. That's what I want to say about him.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you. And I'm the many times that I talked to him over the phone, on podcasts, on the internet, I never physically met him. And we're doing tours, and we're being in Atlanta, and talking to JR, I was like, man, let's get Kev. So that literally we was having these conversations a couple of days ago, trying to get him to come. So
Yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna be okay though, because we still got, Lapeef, we still got, people like Anton Daniels, Poor Man Podcast, Media Talk, tutorial and reviews, yeah,
Yeah.
we still got a lot of people in the manosphere, you know what I'm saying? And then the women, I just hope the women understand, that man just had an opinion. He never did anything to, affect the black community. He never
Yeah.
did. He never did anything wrong to the black community. I got opinions on my show all the time that people disagree with me, but at the end of the day, that don't mean you got to hate me or I hate you or anything like that. Kevin Samuels, man, I'm telling you, man, that man was a good man. He'll give his shirt off his back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just for real. So I just hope at the end of the day, everybody understand, what type of guy this man was, and then y'all think at the end of the day that Mr. Samuels was, this proper type guy, but he had some hood in him, like
Yeah, man. He tell you
yeah,
about Oklahoma streets.
yeah, you step up to him incorrect. He will handle his business. Trust me.
Yeah.
So,
He could fight. He'll tell
yeah,
you in a minute he was a
yeah,
black belt. And
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I
I think
got so much respect for him, and I'm always gonna, praise anything that anybody that's supporting him or anything like that. I'm always gonna be there for him. Whoever he got coming up next or whatever. Anybody associated with Mr. Samuels, I'm supporting him.
yeah.
That's just real. But we still got people out here that's gonna go ahead and live up to what he started. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. But he convinced me to do it. I'm telling you, man, because I was scared because I'm just like, I'm from the hood, man. Like, and then he told me about the stuttering thing, and I'm just like, wait a minute, okay. So maybe I do got a shot in this, and
Yeah.
and I've been rocking with the Ghost Assassin podcast for a minute, and I just hope everybody understand. Women, please just be easy on this man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. He did not do anything to the black community but elevate us, made us open our minds and really, really think. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. He was really trying to tear down the bridge, right? Tear down the bridge that kept men and women separated for so long. He really preached about marriage. You know what I'm saying? This man really wanted to see black women and black men married again. Well, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. And
Yeah.
I say black men and black women because he also did it with other, cultures also. But I
Yeah.
say black men and black women because that's what he always preached. I'm really focused on my own. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I really know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Yeah.
just keeping it real, man. That's just how it just hurt, man. It just hurt.
I
It just really
agree.
hurt. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming up this early morning.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it was
I'm
nice
up.
to meet you.
Yep, it was nice meeting you too. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll see y'all again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll see you again. I'll put your channel in the chat or in the back and I'll post it for sure.
I got you. I got you.
All
Yeah.
right. I wanted to pull up one of the episodes of many of all of us together. The original, not the original, but my crew on the Lapeef, and who it always was. JR, Anton, Kay, and Rilla. That was my crew that we came in, and Kevin was there damn near every week, dropping jewels, and I would listen. Kay will always have some kind of pushback, but it was every week. So let me share this with you guys. Oh, what did he have to say?
Not if you watch the miniseries, you watch anything about it, if he'd have taken care of business and run the English out of the Horn of Africa, it's winners and losers. So it's the standard for everybody. It's the standard for Middle Eastern people. It's the standard for We're not the only people who've been dominated by white people. Go to China, Hong Kong only has it the last 30 or 40 years. But we're the only people that continue to fight. My question is this: what do you think, from an image standpoint, impacts the typical Black professional more, their appearance or their attitude?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just first say, I agree with what you said. It is globalization and Western society has taken over. There's a European beauty standard that all people that live in Western societies have to adhere to in order to be seen as desirable. I completely agree with that. And I know that that is a thing. In terms of personality versus looks, which one is, can you repeat the question?
What impacts a Black professional more? As far as in terms of their image, their appearance or their attitude and behavior?
I mean, the appearance is the first thing you see, so.
No, the appearance only equates for the first 7 seconds.
Right, I mean.
The way you behave and communicate has far more to do with how your coworkers and people interact with you than the way you look.
I was thinking more of a job interview situation, but yeah.
Well, but even in the job interview situation, see what happens often. And for those who don't know, I'm an actual real corporate image consultant. I do this in the real world before I got to YouTube, and it amazed me how often when I was doing interview prep with my Black candidates who were not being successful on job interviews, and we were doing mock interview prep, and I would do opposition research on their background, and then they would fall apart in the interview. But now if the interviewer was white, instantly it's easy to go to that. It's easy to go there. But here's the thing. If it's racist, well, first off, you say it's racist. I just don't see how you square that circle. I just don't see how you square that circle. But I will say this. You mentioned Western civilization and this and that. If it means that much to us, we need to start our own businesses or go back to Africa, because as long as the people who are where you're working pay the lease, run the fiber, pay the utilities, provide a cubicle for you to sit in, you can't tell them how they want to run their business.
I completely agree.
One of the many times that he came on our panel, and it was so funny. See, I can say it now. Kay, don't be mad. You'll be all right. The reason why he gave me the book that I told you about, The Principles of Aikido, was because of Kay. Kevin called me one day. It was like, man, y'all got a firecracker in that K. And he was like, this is how you gonna have to debate Kay, because Kay is intelligent. She's smart. And she's quick. And he would call and talk about, man, that Kay. And I know one time he called me, giving me some advice that I didn't take all the time. But on one of them, we talked about her roaches, and who knew that he knew about bugs and anthropology. And I would just be amazed, like, how much do you know, sir? It just seemed like it was nothing that he didn't have a grasp on. The man is intelligent. And him and Kay always got into it. And I always sit there and laugh and be like, tell her, because she don't listen to me. Man, so I can't believe that we're here. Huh. If anybody else wants to come up, I have Judge Zilla. You're gonna have to cam up, my darling, if you want to be on. I'll drop the link if anybody else wants to say share any other couple of positive vibes of Kevin, you're more than welcome. If not, I'm going to end it. Let me see if I can find something else. Oh, Anton. He enjoyed it. Anton was always like, I was trying to tell her that too. She ain't never listened. She ain't never listened. Yeah. You know, I want to say this too. I don't want anyone that is listening that feels hurt or sad to think that it's weird because you didn't physically meet him. I didn't physically meet him. But it doesn't mean that he couldn't be impactful. So if you are watching this and you are hurt and you're trying to kind of grasp the idea that the Godfather has passed, that's why I'm here. Because I'm trying to grasp it too. And we met him on YouTube. So sometimes we got to come together on YouTube to help each other heal. So it's okay that you feel sad and hurt. I think a lot of us, more than we probably would know, is having to deal with such a loss. So we got each other's back, family. Tech, are you there? I don't see your face. Hey, okay, I'll bring you up real quick.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good.
Sorry
How
about
are
that.
you?
I'm currently driving right now,
You
so it's kind of like, yeah, I'm working. Yeah. I've been watching his show for like what, 2 years, 3 years now, and I mean he's been giving us. He's the type of dude, he gives logic to the women out there that's delusional, and they just don't want to. They don't want to hear the truth, man. And he's a straight shooter, man. And I've been rocking with him ever since I came across his channel. Yeah. And it's like, today, well, yesterday was like what time is it? 4:00 Eastern time, AM. When I heard about it, it was like early yesterday afternoon, and I was like, nah, it must be a hoax. They lying, He'll have a show on Friday. He'll probably, say, hey, they try to cancel me, something, in that sense. But as the news started to spread, I'm like, he should be probably, on Instagram or something trying to dead it. I'm like, I just didn't want to believe it, And man, it's like losing a family member. You know what I mean? It's crazy, I enjoy watching his show, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and how he do the call-ins, and he interact with different women, and he gives his advice. And I see a lot of people on here, not on your platform, but like on other platforms. Oh, he was harsh, he was this, he was that. He was telling the truth, because I see it all the time. On his channel, you see it all the time. People just see clips, and he used to say that all the time. Did you see my show, or did you see the clips? Oh, I just seen the clip. Now go back and watch the show, so you get a better understanding of where I'm coming from. I'm not harsh. I'm just giving you the truth, but sometimes the truth hurts. But it's necessary if you want to improve in your life. If you're trying to find that, that better half, getting that understanding of, you're not partners. You're a helpmate. You know what I mean? A lot of these people out here don't know They don't even know what a relationship is. They don't even know how to if they're women. Some women don't even know if they're wife material, but they want a man, a good man. But what do you like? What value do you have? See, he brings things back to her instead of you living in the bubble. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go in.
It's fine. I can hardly hear you. It sounds like some crunching and crackling
I'm
noise.
so sorry. I'm driving.
What's going on?
I'm just trying to get everything out. My apologies, but yeah, I just wanted to just say, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Thank you for, just, advocating for black men because we really need it, and it's a big loss. It's a big loss, but we're gonna keep pushing on, and we're gonna make them proud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you, Tech, for coming up. Anyway, we are gonna make them proud. Like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, and even what he was trying to say, he made so many shows of his that I can think back, but one of them was asking black women, "Do you belong? Is the black man yours? Do you belong to the black man?" And in essence, really, we all we got.
We all we got.
We have to make it work. We all we got.
That's it. We all we got, and I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like, in this day and age, we're lost, man. He was just trying to guide us, man. Look, man, he wasn't always like this. We had black families, and now things are so crazy. You got women out here with tattoos, and they want a high volume man, but they don't bring nothing to the table. It's like, what are you talking about? And he's just trying to, all he was doing is just, giving you the logic, man, the things that you need to do to improve your life. That's all he was trying to do. That's all he was trying to do. And shame on the people that celebrating his death. That's horrible. And I don't want to go on and on about it,
karma is a bitch. That's all I know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna drop you down and bring some other people up, okay?
All right, you take care.
I appreciate you. Be safe.
Right. Thank you. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Did sound like some Dorito bags back there, Tech. Okay. I wanted to hear you. All I heard was I was like, the hell? But I appreciate you, Tech. Thank you very much. Josh, baby, I need to see you before I let you up. Lawrence, I see you smiling bright.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing, Courtney?
How are you?
Man, I'm in disbelief,
Yeah.
It's like surreal because it was like he was just alive and real vibrant and full of life 1 minute, and the next minute he's not here. And I think now the question is, what's gonna happen next? Because I heard Kevin mention not too long ago, I don't think it was his last live, maybe 2 or 3 lives ago, he said, things are changing. There's been a shift, right? I don't know if you caught that. Do you remember that when he said things have shifted?
Yeah. What do you think that meant?
Like
life.
People are starting to really be a little more transparent about themselves and who they are and their belief system and the things that they value versus pop culture and stuff like that and the superficial things. And then all of a sudden he's just taken out. And when I say the question excuse me, the question now is what's going to happen next is the people that he was talking about, are they going to double down now? Like, yo, you get what I'm saying? Is it going to be like some type of revenge? It's almost like, you remember when how can I put it? but prior to, it's on topic but off topic. I'm gonna take you in, so I guess it could resonate a little more. You remember when, prior to Barack Obama being in office, the biggest incident with the police that everybody talked about was what? Rodney King, right?
Yeah.
And then when Obama got in office, it seems like the Rodney King's incident phased out, and because it was so many other incidents, right, with the police and black men, it was like they took their revenge out. They couldn't get to Obama, so it was more or less like they took their revenge out on just regular citizens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that Kevin is gone, like they couldn't get him, because people was out for him. Believe that. These big conglomerate platforms, they was after him. And I think they possibly could try to double down on their behavior and on, I don't know. What's your take? I didn't talk enough. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm Anton Block. I don't know who that is, but okay. I am a conspiracy theorist. I don't know much about what's going on. Once I found out, I was getting ready to go on Lapeef Network. So it was trying to prepare for that, hearing the news, getting calls. So I don't know much yet. And I don't want to speculate yet on the what, whens, and whys. As of right now, I'm just kind of mourning.
Yeah.
So I'm in mourning right now because regardless of how he's gone, and he impacted a lot with me personally, with me career-wise, with me and my friends. I met friends because of him. Like, the YouTube, Lapeef is my family. So yeah, so I ain't even figured out yet. And I don't know if I'm ready to hear all that. I'm just kind of in mourning.
I got another question. How did you feel personally about his content?
I was a fan.
I mean, I'm just asking another woman that's in the social media space, that's another content creator. How did you receive it? Like,
well, I wasn't one of these women that looked and heard and was taken aback. I was intrigued.
Got you.
So and then it's so funny because I really started watching a lot of Black Manosphere content. So through him, I learned about AMS and O'Shea and Obsidian and Dennis Sperling. And back then it was like Donovan Sharp. So I was heavy in the space, not talking, but just listening, and quite surprised at everything that I was listening to. And then I started listening to MTR, and then I found Lapeef.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So, I found them through Kevin Samuels.
Oh.
So I would never have been on Lapeef if it wasn't for him.
Wow.
So, I mean, he's really important to me, and he got my start, and I wouldn't be here on this platform even if he didn't even believe in me.
Yeah.
He's always told me you got a unique voice, and it's a way that you need to cultivate it, but don't shut up.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Any questions?
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no. I'll thank you for coming up. I thought I had somebody else, but I'm gonna wrap it up here in a minute. But I appreciate you for popping up, though.
Oh, you're welcome, ma'am. Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me, ma'am.
Absolutely.
All right.
So we're gonna be hanging on each other. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, and I guess you are too.
Yeah. I'll be back. I mean, do you normally have your live streams around? Well, I have a channel too, but
I mean, it's been all kind of confusing, but I'm usually on Wednesdays is when I try to go live. Okay. So, but it's been a lot going on. So yeah, Wednesdays, and then you can see me on Thursdays on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, All right. Well, then I'll see you soon.
All right. Have a good one, man.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.
It had a blowout. I'm reading the chat. So my very, very first episode. This is before K. Now I was before K, and I remind her this all the time. And I want to pull it up. My very, very first. Look how happy I am. Look. He popped up. Look how excited. I was so happy. You guys, like, I literally called my brother and like low key was like, why is Kevin Samuels up here? He was like, what? Look how happy JR looked. Like, we were so thrilled because we were all fans and loved his content. And then this was the first time that he ever called into the Peef. And I was excited. JR, we look at Tawana. She was excited too. We was like, this what? Oh, and Nick, Lord, I don't know what's going on at the top. And look at Anton. We were just so excited. Look how small we were. Man, look how this was a year ago. Let's see. I want to hear. Man, oh, the memories.
No, seriously though, I've heard a lot of the back and forth, and
we slick word. I guess.
I rarely hear from women in this conversation, whether we're talking high value, productive, competitive, successful men, or just men in general, is good faith. I'm always hearing this color purple. I had the fights all my life. And all this stuff that I'm 52 years on this planet, and I don't see women getting beaten cheap like this.
Beaten cheap.
I didn't see this. So why do so many of our conversations devolve into, well, I'd rather be by myself versus this life that you can't tell me that most women are living, even the majority of it. This was part of the contention we had back when you came over to my show, Tawana, this narrative that just is not rooted in any observable or even data-driven reality, but it's still real to far too many Black women. Why is that?
I can speak it for me. I think that it's programmed. You know, like when you go through certain things, you kind of program yourself
this is a year
to,
ago.
you know, accept the negative first, right? You look at it that way, you accept the negative first, and if something positive comes in, you're like, okay, well, it's like a surprise. You prepare yourself for the worst, right? It's not a good thing to do. I won't say that it is a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to just automatically perceive, right? But when you go through stuff and you know that you're the reason why of it, it makes you leery when you continue, because you're like always, you're the cause of everyone that you choose, right? Sure. So if you're the cause of everyone you choose and everyone you choose and it's an issue that's happening, you become scared about going forth with that because your decision when it comes to choosing is not that great. Right. So you become hard.
Okay. So one thing I hear, the programming, where is that coming from?
I just guess in society it's like you look at it as I'm not going to accept that.
No, exactly. Where is the programming coming from? What part of society?
It's media. It's
media. Yeah, we'll say it.
The first transmitters of culture and knowledge is the mother.
Yeah.
So any media that comes in.
Look at me all hungry for knowledge.
To the media, the mother.
Oh, look at my little self.
I completely agree. Why you say not the father?
That's because the fathers don't transmit culture. Fathers transmit standards and morals.
I'm gonna make up.
But a woman can also learn how.
See, when I say things like this is not absolute. It's not either or.
Okay.
But women transmit culture globally. It's not just in the Black community.
Right.
So if it is transmitted, to women, it's being transmitted to women by women about men.
But not all the time. I just don't agree that that's the only source.
Okay, but well, how about this? It's 51. It's 50.1% of the time. It's the majority. How about we work on the majority? Because this is where our conversation.
How about we share responsibilities?
Well, because it's triage.
Right.
See, this is where we.
Oh, stop it. Oh. Man, if that feels so long ago. And look, and I was so eager. Man, oh man, my posture back then. Now I just be like, but I was so. What'd you say, Kevin? That's funny. Wow. That that was in February of last year. And that was my very first show that I was on the Lapeef Network. And that was Kevin Samuel's very first show on the Lapeef Network. That was a little bit over a year ago. Man, things changed, doesn't it? I've grown a lot. And I lost a little weight too, y'all. So I'm not gonna, like, I have not had any sleep. When it's early and figure out my Friday and get it together. But man, I'm gonna pull up something else too. Hold on.
Going down the rabbit hole and start putting accountability and responsibility on the justifiable party. When it becomes the women, then we.
I'm gonna pull up and play this before I head out. I'm gonna say Big Shirley somewhere turning up. I know it's weird, but the people that are, I don't even want to speak that in existence. The people that are saying so many negative things, your outcome is going to be the same. So whenever I hear what the French toast, I rebuke. What else did he say? I'm a PhD. Man. Them drops. Man. I can't believe he's gone, y'all. I can't. And I like to roast, and then man, he roasts the hell out of people. And I always thought that was funny because I like to as well too, but I don't think the people's ready for me to start roasting because then y'all start calling me masculine, and again, yeah, I guess I ain't really stopped. Yeah, I make you famous. The space is going to miss him. I'm going to miss him. And I can't believe he's not here. So Kevin Samuels, you owe me a wedding gift. Okay. Just because you want to transcend doesn't mean you don't owe. Okay. So I'm still holding you to that. And you still hold me accountable. like you always have. I promise I'm going to finish reading the books that you suggest, be more disciplined in my arguments, research more, stats and facts, um, and hold myself to a standard. I'm going to miss you, Kevin Samuels. A lot of us are. You are loved. So I'm going to end it. I'm going to play my video that I did, my flower video to the man. Kiss the ring. I'm going to pull it up. We love you, Kevin. And thank you. You made a lot of us better. And for that, we are grateful. So you will be missed.
It's you. It's you being your best self physically, emotionally, spiritually. And that's what he talks about. He talks about being physically fit. The most important thing that he talks about is therapy. So I was one that went to therapy. I had a whole lot of work to do. And I did it. Still doing it. I probably need it as much now than ever. But I was really, really grateful that I did because something that not only did I learn from him, but through therapy is accountability. You have to be accountable for who you are. You have to understand that you've made mistakes. No one is perfect. But however, what are you doing to change? You have to be actively seeking help, actively changing yourself. And that's another thing that he preaches on a daily basis. I always thought that he was talking to women until, I looked a couple years back at his videos and it was men. And I would have hated to be a man that called them. Oh my gosh. I know y'all probably seen one of the viral videos that he did. The man was fat, broke, small, you know what. But that man didn't take it as something bad. He took it and ran with it. And he listened. And that's why I feel it's kind of different with the men and the women because we don't do that. We listen to him and he tells us what we need to change. And we're so quick to go to YouTube and say, oh, he is a woman basher, or we do the sign language at him. But with the men, they don't do that. They take it and they run with it. And that's why men are working. Men are being better. Men are leveling up. We're just taking it slow. And I don't know why. Or maybe I do because I'm taking it slow too. There's a whole lot of stuff that I need to work on at.
All right.